medicine, law, business, engineering. These are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. This is a quote from the world-renowned movie Dead Poets Society. While I wish I could stand up here and give you some artistic creativity or show off my poetry, I have none. Instead, I am pursuing life-sustaining topics. I realize that most experts who address environmental issues talk about technological breakthroughs or solutions to deep-rooted issues. Given my lack of a PhD, I will leave those topics to the experts. I'm an engineering student who is well-versed in mathematics, physics, and chemistry, with a deep yearning for social justice, environmental science, and collaborative effort. My goal here today is to explain to you why a switch to renewable energy must happen, whether you like it or not. If you do support renewable energy, don't fret. My goal is to equip you with a way to make it through tense holiday dinners with passionate uncles. To begin, allow me to quickly define renewable energy. Renewable energy sources do not directly deplete resources in order to generate energy. Solar, for example, generates energy by absorbing photons and converting it to electricity. The photons, for all intents and purposes, are an infinite resource. Non-renewable sources, on the other hand, generate energy by burning finite resources such as coal and oil. When burned, these resources are depleted and create harmful byproducts in the form of gases, the main one being carbon dioxide. Now, I don't want to start with what I've learned in school or what my degree says. I want to start with the fact that I am young. At 21 years of age, there's a chance I live into the latter half of the century. Now, I'm not saying that just to brag. I'm saying that because whatever we do today, I may see the effects, both good and bad. In 50 years, I don't want to worry about my power going out due to undeveloped energy sources. I want to be confident that my lights will turn on at the flip of a switch. I don't want to worry about going bankrupt filling up my car with gas when it becomes scarce. Now that I think about it, that last one is already beginning to happen today. You see, the problem with our current situation and a newborn fear of the younger generation is what will happen when we run out of oil. While it sounds like an outlandish, far-out concept, we will run out of readily accessible oil within my generation's time. As of 2016, it is estimated that we have 1.65 trillion barrels of oil left. Given our current usage consumption, this comes out to 48 years left. While this is an estimate, it shows the severity of our situation. The world is faced with a choice. We can dig deeper and look for more, or we can switch away. And logically, it makes sense to switch. Why should we invest money and time into temporary solutions when permanent ones are being developed? I won't ignore the cost aspect. It has been estimated that it would cost the United States alone $4.5 trillion to go renewable. That is a hefty price tag. If you spread that out over the next 20 years, it comes out to $225 billion per year. While this crisis is out of our budget to fix at once, chipping away at it is feasible. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the United States, since 2004, has spent an average of $200 billion every year on oil imports. $200 billion to other countries just for oil. Now, I'm not bringing this up to offer any concrete solutions, as I will leave that to the economics majors. I'm bringing this up to show that spending trillions of dollars on energy consumption is not an outlandish idea. We are already doing it today. Moving on from my selfish desire for energy security, we look to the human populace as a whole. There's no debate that there are poorer countries and there are wealthier countries. This wealth disparity leads to the poor countries being more in danger of the horrific effects of climate change. Now, if you don't believe in climate change, let me try and sway you in 30 seconds. These plots show atmospheric and climate properties over the last 400,000 years. As you can see, the Earth fluctuates between hotter and colder periods naturally. While there is debate between whether carbon dioxide forces temperature or temperature forces carbon dioxide, there is no debate that these two are linked together. What this plot doesn't show is that our current carbon dioxide concentration has reached 420 parts per million. This is far greater than anything the Earth has seen in the last 400,000 years. We are in uncharted territory with respect to the Earth's climate. Another thing this doesn't show is how rapid that carbon increase was. Rapid being a very key climate word. As a potential result of this increase, we are seeing many disastrous side effects. The first effect I want to talk about being the recent flooding in Pakistan. This flooding was caused by melting glaciers, along with heavier than normal monsoon rains, following a massive heat wave, leaving a third of the country underwater and millions displaced. While Pakistan is feeling the effects of global warming, they are responsible for a small 0.5% of the global carbon dioxide emission. The United States, on the other hand, responsible for 14% of that global carbon dioxide emission. I know what you're thinking. We have more people than Pakistan. Of course we're going to emit more. Per capita, it doesn't look much better. The average United States citizen still emits about 18 times more than the average Pakistan citizen. Pakistan is feeling the effects of global warming, and we are heavily responsible for the current state of that warming. Switching to renewable is an act of empathy, along with a moral obligation to help those who we've harmed. The next effect I want to talk about are the rising sea levels globally. These are affecting places like Miami, Florida, and coastal Bangladesh alike. These rising levels are displacing those that live close, if unable to adapt. When looking at Miami's prevention strategy, their solution is to build protective structures that can keep the city safe, build structures that will prevent flooding, and ultimately throw money at the issue to make it go away. The residents of coastal Bangladesh do not get that luxury. The only answer for them is to move inland. Abandon homes, abandon villages, abandon communities, and relocate. Now, if Bangladesh did this to themselves, I might not be talking about it. Again, that is not the case. The United States contributes 66 times more carbon emissions than Bangladesh, yet only contains 2 times the population. The United States has a large hand in emissions and a large hand in climate change. We have the money to ignore its disastrous wake. Hear me when I say this. I am not saying that Miami's effort to protect itself is wrong. I am simply saying that other people are suffering, and we are one of the largest contributors to their pain. Those that don't have wealth are at risk in joining the 1,500 that have already died in the Pakistan floods. People are dying, and part of their blood may be on our hands. Switching to renewable is not just about us feeling secure. It is an area of injustice and inequity that needs to be addressed. Our switch to renewable is the only way for us to reduce our carbon emissions long term. My final goal here today is to level with you all. When I first started hearing about climate change, I dismissed it with one of 2 statements. It's too far gone, or if the world is meant to go out this way, so be it. Allow me to equip you with a counter to these apathetic thoughts. Climate change will likely not be the end of human civilization. We would have to do a lot of damage before this place becomes entirely unlivable. Despite this, global warming will make life much, much harder. As warming continues, sea level rise, dry spells, agricultural issues, fires, floods, and more disastrous effects will continue to accelerate. If we have the mindset that it is too far gone, people will live miserably until our transition catches up. Imagine building a home by hand. You finally have shelter and you feel secure. Your home gets washed away. Moving inland a little further, you build another by hand. It gets washed away again. This is not a random story. This story is felt by over 200 million climate migrants year after year. Their families are in danger because people in the world need a new iPhone release every year, but we can't figure out how to live sustainably. As I close, I want to challenge you. Something I've not talked about yet today is reducing consumerism. However, this will be key to our sustainability on Earth. Everything you do, from how you got here today to what you eat during the day, has an impact on our environment. My rule of thumb is this: if you don't need it, don't consume it. If you do need it, find a better way to do it. Finally, get involved. Support legal action that supports climate change. Look into residential solar solutions. Solar panels on your roof aren't the most aesthetically pleasing, I get that. But people have been dying because we have prioritized aesthetics over doing what is right. The world is running out of finite resources, and non-wealthy communities are being ripped apart by our society's failure to advance. Let us embrace this transition, not even because we need to, but because we care. Thank you.